Great day, another opportunity. I want to welcome everyone to the end of the month podcast recap for Rich Education. Demi Sanya, super excited to be here. And ladies and gentlemen, as I fail my way into success with this amazing platform, which is called StreamYard, and I learned to use it more, I'm super excited to be here with you all. This is streaming live on Facebook. This is actually streaming live on LinkedIn and on my YouTube channel. And I got all my great people that are going to be tuning in as well, live on Instagram. They can't see it like you all see it, but I'm super excited to be here with you all, great people. So I hope everyone is doing well. We're going to do a recap on what's been taking place. This is week number 4. Oh my gosh, and it's been trial and error, but it's been some great things going on because I've been getting some coaching, I've been getting some mentoring, and it's a good thing because understand that your network is your net worth. And when I say that, social capital, what do I mean by social capital? Anyone on Instagram know what I mean by social capital? Anyone on Facebook, YouTube, on LinkedIn, what's the importance of social capital? It's about your network. It's about who you know, because I'm letting you know, if you think you know everything, oh my gosh, you are in deep trouble. So I want, it's just been a blessing because of my social network. I've been able to have some coaching, have some mentoring on running my podcast. And then we're in the information age. So it should be no excuse. If you're thirsty for knowledge, if you're thirsty to getting to the next level, if you are thirsty to wanting to learn, I'm thirsty. So this is the horse you can lead to the water because I'm always wanting to drink some information. I'm always thirsty because I'm letting you know this, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not learning, you're dying. So we're going to do a recap because there's been some great things. And I want anyone that's tuning in with me, let's, on the chat that's in Facebook, let me know that you can hear me loud and clear so I won't be running my mouth for nothing. And you won't be able to hear me the whole time. So, because I got my phone on mute, and this is my first time doing this like this, using StreamYard is a powerful tool, great people. And it's just bringing so much more value on top of the coaching and mentoring that I'm getting to this podcast with a Rich Education. But this recap is going to be amazing because we've had some amazing guests on this recap. On the show within the last, and those 4 weeks came fast. Can you believe it? A month. Can you believe that, ladies and gentlemen, a whole month? So I see my brother Carlito, hey, look, not just my brother, my friend and my mentor, my coach as well, man. Look, we helping one another here. Volume is cleared. Look at that, man. Thank you so much, dear brother. I appreciate that. I did a good overview of this platform, and it's powerful. But we're going to dive right into this information, and I want to talk about some things before I, get into where we are economically. And it'll be just a brief thing as I bring this later on to a close because this won't be a long stream, ladies and gentlemen, but it's going to be just recapping the information that we've been blessed to obtain because understand, great people, in today's time, information is money. Information is life-saving, okay? You got to understand, like the scriptures say, my people perish for the lack of knowledge. So what knowledge have you been getting? What knowledge has been allowing us to step up our game and get rid of bad debt? What knowledge have we been getting that's allowing us to minimize taxes? What knowledge have we been getting to protect ourselves in a climate like we're in economically, and a climate like we were in 2008, and a climate like we were in the dot-com crash back in 2000 or 1999? What knowledge have we been getting to better our health? So we got to look at ourselves and go in the mirror and say, look, where there's life, there's hope. And I still have the opportunity to change. You don't have to continue to go down that road. You can make a U-turn, ladies and gentlemen, and make change. So let's go with this. Let's talk about our first guest that we had on the Rich Dad Podcast. Let's say the Rich Dad Podcast on the Rich Education Podcast. And it's just been amazing because so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to share my screen. And let me know if you guys can see that. I'm sharing my screen here. And then, okay, all right, there we go. So what I've done, I just went directly to each person's Facebook page. And on this Facebook page, we have the great Miss Sally Murray. Miss Sally Murray was the first guest we had on a Rich Education Podcast. And was she fire? A young lady that I met at an event in Atlanta. That's why I love going to events. You know, that's what's really done a lot of change in my life, going to events, meeting new people, networking with people. And I mean, you heard her journey. And what I'm going to do is also, look, make sure you go to Demi Sanya in the podcast section and, you know, subscribe to that channel because you get to see all of the replays. And they'll be airing as well on all of the social media sites as well. But Sally Murray, a veteran in the military at one point in her career. She's an Asian woman, wonderful spirit, straight go-getter. She just actually hosted an event in Sacramento, not Sacramento, in Seattle, Washington, where she's from. And, you know, it's just a blessing. And she put together that event, super successful. She had a lot of people there that attended. I mean, she had some of the top leaders that's in our community, individuals that have really taken their life to the next level, those who came from zero and went all the way to hero. So I just want to commend you and thank you, Miss Sally Murray. If you were able to see this stream, I know you probably plug into it. You're so busy helping so many people. But she talked about her journey. She talked about the knowledge and information that she got from her grandmother. She talked about, you know, the importance of holding on to precious metals. And that's going to be talked about with all of the guests that I want to do an overview with and do a recap about. Ladies and gentlemen, she spoke of the importance of us understanding financial literacy, understanding she's working on her book. I'm super excited about that. And, you know, since I met her at that event, we're now locking arms to do business together. We're in the same space, and we got some great things going on so we can get information out to the people. So I'm super excited and grateful for Miss Sally Murray as she joined us today and just bringing you people from all backgrounds. You see, ladies and gentlemen, getting to the next level is all about helping other people get to the next level, okay? Once you learn, because the first law of nature is self-preservation. So once you're taking care of yourself, but the more you bring, like my mentor, Brother Benek states, massive impact to the marketplace, bring massive impact to the marketplace. And this allows you as an individual to just, you know, solve the problems that's going on in your life, ladies and gentlemen. Because if you're doing the same thing, looking for better results, that's considered to be insanity. So my great brother, also my friend, Ricardo Hamilton, and I'm going in the order they came on. He was our second guest of the month here on a Rich Education Podcast. And what an exciting thing to just watch a young man climb the ladder to success. I'll never forget the day that we met at an event. And at that event, ladies and gentlemen, I just got a chance to just meet a person. It was the first day meeting him years ago. And when I heard what was coming out of his mouth at that age, okay, at that age, and it doesn't really, I mean, I'm watching young men in their early 20s that are doing 6 figures a month, 7 figures a month in the e-commerce space, business owners, entrepreneurs, okay? So it doesn't matter the age, but this was just my first opportunity of seeing an individual, ladies and gentlemen, that was basically, I mean, he's born a star. And I said, brother, you got to get out here to the world because the world needs to hear you. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? So let me make sure that I have Ricardo on that screen. I don't think I do. All right, so I'm going to remove that one. I'm going to do apologize as I get used to using this. All right, stop share. All right, so I want to share the other screen, and here we go, so you can see my dear brother. There we go. There we go. All right. So, brother Ricardo Hamilton, there we go. You got to see the picture of this champion, man. So, once again, years ago we met. Fireball back then, and his knowledge, his wisdom, his tenacity, his integrity has grown, and he's grown tremendously because this brother has helped thousands upon thousands of people. See, all you have to do is help a few people. And once you find the leadership and help people understand that we are all leaders, and once you help that individual bring out the leadership within, this is when you grow people, and when you grow people, you grow your network. Okay, understand there's nothing wrong with having a network. We're part of someone's network. Where I'm using Xfinity's network right now. I'm also using T-Mobile's network on my mobile. So we're part of someone's network. But when you grow a network based on helping people duplicate a system that's relevant to the times, hey, this is how you get to the next level. So I commend Brother Ricardo. He's been super successful. Also, an individual that's been stacking and building wealth and assets. As you heard, Fireball, he brought so much value to the platform, and we talked about subjects that are relevant for today, as far as hedging, as far as preserving, as far as protection, as far as cash flow. We got into a lot of good subjects, and I'm so grateful because this young brother is busy. See, when you get your freedom, it's not just about sitting down and, I forgot to have my coffee. I wanted to have my coffee on the scene today. But it's not just about, once you get your financial freedom, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, especially when you're helping others get their financial freedom, you're working, but you're working in a different way. You're learning how to invite people professionally to videos. You're doing live and doing live streams. I mean, you don't have to do this. You can keep it simple. But if you're a person who wants to become an individual who likes helping people, I'm letting you know this is the level of success that you will get to. So this brother's been traveling the world. Just this year, he's been to several. He's been to Europe. He's been to Africa. He's been all over the world. Okay, so he's leading an amazing team, and I'm grateful to him because he's brought that beautiful platform that we're leveraging and we're using to get all of our metals brought to and delivered directly to us, so we can start stacking, building wealth, and protecting wealth. So grateful for this young man, Brother Ricardo Hamilton. They call him MEMS, and MEMS just means make it make sense. So he was our third guest on a Rich Education podcast. And then, oh my gosh, great people, this young man that I had on next, I'm telling you, when I had that opportunity to have this young man, an individual, a brother who I met years ago as well, okay, who I met years ago as well. Did you hear his story? See, you don't have no excuse. The only person that we're really battling is the person in the mirror. That's the only person that's going to hold you back from change. That's going to hold you back from ignoring information. Okay, information that being brought to you, and you want to continue to do what you've been doing. What you've been doing may be good, but I'm letting you know, in the present economy, in the present world that we see changing, events happening all around the world, if you're going to continue to do what you've been doing, that's really, with all due respect, an obsolete thing. It's really obsolete. Okay? Because if you're not in the now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not in the future, because the future is now, ladies and gentlemen, things aren't going to be looking to, it's going to be tough regardless. You're going to be wealthy, rich. It's still going to be some tough things, but I'd rather be rich and wealthy and have tough things come about me because I'm able to open up to knowledge. Remember, that's social capital. I'm able to get more information from this person, from that person. They're winning. They've been winning for 10, 20, 30 years. They've been financially free. Well, these people, they just got their freedom. How did you do it? How are you preserving? What are you storing? What are you putting away? So we got to step outside the box. But when you heard this story right here from our dear brother Carlito Muhammad, 30 years of addiction. Okay? 30 years. Now this brother, number one, is a servant of Allah God. Completely. Wonderful wife. That's another reason why he's so successful. He has a mate that's right there with him, where they're a team. They're building together. That's what relationships are about. Okay? They're working together. They're helping one another. I mean, I got a blessing to speak with this sister when we were doing some training last week. During the stream, but then years ago, I remember educating me about osmosis water and some of it. I was like, okay, see, that's why you got to be open, man. You got to be open. So I commend our great brother Carlito Muhammad. We've been just chopping it up ever since then. 30 years of addiction, but now going through that pain. What is he? Straight wealth builder, building wealth and assets, professional, binary trader. You just go back and listen. You want that knowledge? Step outside the box. Connect with my brother. You have his channel right here. Connect with him. Send him a friend request. DM him. He's a networker. He's going to answer you. Okay? Running his own independent show. Okay? Running his own radio show. Him and the great Dr. Aleem Muhammad. The great Dr. Aleem. See, this is the information you need to plug in. He's connected to people who've been on the scene, doing things that's completely opposite of what the 1% want to do to the world, which is really destroy everybody. So he's working with individuals who are fearless, who are correcting HIV, correcting conditions, getting rid of Dr. Aleem, fighting for his people, fighting for humanity, because anyone can change. You can accept knowledge. Okay? So once again, my dear brother Carlito, he was our third guest as we recap the month, and what a powerful stream. It could have went on longer because we were just having such a great conversation, him being so transparent with us, and it was just a powerful message that our dear brother shared to the world. So pull from my brother. Pull from all of those that I shared. Okay? Pull from them. Pull from all of their struggles and pains and intelligence that they shared on this podcast. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, what I want to do is I want to take a, let me see if I get this right. I want to take a short little break. I want to take a few seconds break, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to come back to our recap of the month of A Rich Education. All right, man. I'm so excited, man. You know why? Another day, another opportunity. So you got to be excited, man, because you got life. That's the greatest gift. So whatever struggle you're going through, the things that you want, you're not going to get them. You already got your gift. So you got to use your life in the right way. Because look, you only get one life. Ain't no bye-bye going up to the sky, man. That's a lie. If that's the case, man, the stuff that's about to jump off in this country, America, you watching this in America, you might as well go ahead and go up there with Tupac and Biggie if that's what you think. No, this is it. And I never forget that. I heard Pitbull make that statement. The artist Pitbull, the entertainer, and say people want to know, you got it. You already got your gift. It's life. And life is what we make it based on the information that we've received and the information that we've rejected. So the 14,000 hours of information that's been given to us, that's what most people are operating off, of a system that fed us information from a little one all the way up to an adult. And so you got to break out that box, because the box is already crumbling. That box has been, you're in a box where there's a big foot stepping on it and you're getting crushed. So you're going to have to change. If you want, you're going to have to face the fears. But how do you change? How do you face the fears? You lock arms with the individuals that I just spoke of for our 3 weeks, now in our 4th week on the Rich Education Podcast. So if you want change, this isn't fear-based information, ladies and gentlemen. We're living in a historical time. A historical time. History doesn't stop. But now we're going from the old, because the 1%'s world is falling. It's done. You see it. There's so much going on. So if you want to hold on to that, you will go down with that. I don't want you to go down with that, family. I want you to rise up for what God is doing. Because see, God stated, when I come, I make all things new. So what first has to be made new? The individual to bring on the new people. This is no spookism, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're still holding on to that old model of go to school, get a job, work hard, save what you think is money, invest for the long term in a well-diversified portfolio of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and ETFs, everything I mentioned tied to what? A piece of paper. Nothing wrong with the paper, but it is something wrong with that piece of paper called the US dollar if you don't know what to do with it. So you have to know what to do with the dollar, because since 1971, what happened back then? When you have a better outlook on the past, you have a great outlook on the future. And like I always say, the future is now. So ladies and gentlemen, let me get to, I want to make sure I'm not missing any comments, because anyone that wants to jump on here, and I'm going to probably have to learn how to do that, because that'll be my first time actually inviting someone on, because I do want people to jump on. And any comments there, I want to invite people to get on to the screen, and let's make some comments or any great things like that, okay? But great people, we're living in a completely different time. But the greatest time for the person who takes on new information. Because like I mentioned, the 14,000 hour system that was downloaded into your brain since you went into the Head Start public fool system. And I'm not calling you a fool, but look what it's made us. We don't know about money. We don't know about health. The two most important things. What the most time people are complaining about? It's either I'm sick and I'm broke. So if the knowledge we're getting, remember, God said, I make all things new. So you need to be made new. Our diet needs to be made new. Our money needs to be made new. God wants us to be wealthy. But how are you going to get there? Who are you serving? That's how you're going to get there. You got to bring servitude to the people. You got to first find out who you are, though. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're in a whole completely different environment. And as I get to bringing this to a close, because it was just about the recap, it was just about those amazing people I was blessed to connect to. Okay? That was a blessing to have those individuals on the live stream, on the Rich Education Podcast. But, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to see that we're in a different space today. Completely different. Okay? So, the retirement that you're banking on. Okay, understand that America is at over $30 trillion in debt and growing as I'm talking. How does that happen? Well, when she prints more of what we think is money, look at our life. I'm tired. I'm working hard. They're paying more taxes. I was just talking to a older lady yesterday. She says, well, her retirement isn't looking good. And she looked like she was maybe in her late 60s. So young people, if you're looking at this, you're listening to this, like I talked to a young man I met months ago, and I'm at a playground when I was with my daughter. I'm just sharing with him. Your examples are already ahead of you. Are the older generation, the baby boomers, the biggest wealth transfer that's about to take place soon? Are they? No, they're not bad people. Just the lack of knowledge. They stayed in the box. They didn't get the financial literacy. They're not plugged into the now. They're not plugged into what's correct to understand that they're in a position to lose everything. And we don't want that to happen, right, Brother Carlito? We don't want that to happen, right, Sally Murray? We don't want that to happen, right, Brother Ricardo? That's why we do what we do. Remember, there was always a warner in the past. And God, I found my niche. I found what I should be doing. And I love it. I love creating content. Okay, anyone wanting to, we'll talk about that at the end. I love helping people. I love talking to people about what's relevant. I want to have conversations about our health. I want to have conversations about building wealth. I want to have conversations about getting that piece of paper cash flow, but coming to me and coming to you while we sleep. Because that brings you freedom. But then when you know what to do with the cash flow. So for my older generation to understand the times that we're living in, remember, 1999, 2000, dot-com crash. 2008, look at the timeline. Real estate. Okay? Then look at the debt of the country. So if you skip those years and then you come to where we are today in 2023, we're overdue for a crash, but they engineer these crashes. They're going to create it because now they're talking about more lockdowns now. Okay, they're going to create these crashes. That's what they've been doing. But it's going to be a transfer for those who are holding on to the right assets in the right position. I'm not telling you what to do. This is only financial education. Cash is still good. So you want cash, but not in the banks. Look at all the banks that's been going down. So do you think your neighborhood bank is going to still be up and running? So they're issuing in things, ladies and gentlemen. I want to bring it down so you can understand, so an 8th grader can understand. They're issuing in things. But if you're not plugged into the right, I'm not saying be glued to YouTube. Well, most of you glued to Netflix, glued to the Hollywood that we see crumbling. Okay? But you want to be paying attention to what matters. Does your health matter? Yes or yes? I just saw a video, brother said that they putting the vaccine in the water in New York. So people, I want to bring you information. We want to bring you information. The Rich Education Podcast wants to bring you information. Brother Carlito wants to bring you information. Sally Murray wants to bring you. Brother Ricardo, we want to bring you information that's relevant and has always been relevant. America's crumbling, great people. We got to keep it 100. Why don't your country we live in educate you about health, but instead of pushing poison medicine on you? Why doesn't the country that you live in, and we go back to Tricky Dick Nixon in 1971, when we came off the gold standard, why did they take the education of gold and silver out of the school system back in 1975? Because at that time, gold and silver was still exchangeable, and you still can do it. You have to be your own banker, like Brother Carlito stated. You got to be your own banker. But back then, your gold and silver was attached to the dollar, a silver note. It said it. Look at it. If you care, if you don't care about your money or wealth, then this isn't for you. With all due respect, all the best. But if you care about your money, you care about your health, this information is for it. I know the Rich Education is more on finance, but I got to talk about your health, great people. Because see, when the chemicals going on in the body from the food we see, and the people I seen lined up at McDonald's and lined up at Wendy's, putting fake food that's made by scientists in their body, it hinders your ability to think. Okay? So great people, we're in a time today that this is going to be the biggest transfer of wealth that's ever hit mankind. What do I mean by that? Transfer. Money's going to be taken from those holding on to the buy and hold for the long term. Why would I buy and hold for the long term? I'm not saying you don't know this. But why would you buy and hold for the long term? You know it now. When you have algorithms that can create your whole retirement that you're banking to get in a millisecond. The algorithms can make that in a millisecond. Brother Carlito just shared his 20-minute, $1,500 a day. So I should be, I need to connect with that brother. How can I schedule a call so he can mentor and coach me and see what his fees are? So he can mentor and coach me on how I can do that in this, because the opportunity is there right on your smartphone. And if you're not learning to create income on your smartphone, great ladies and gentlemen, it's a dumb phone. So let's take a short break because you know I can continue on. I got some great more talk to share with you all. And ladies and gentlemen, a rich education. In the economy that we're living in, ladies and gentlemen, it's super important to get financial literacy. And this is what a Rich Education podcast and a Rich Education in general is all about. We want you to be educated. We want you to understand that the economy that we're living in today is no longer our granddaddy's economy or the Brady Bunch economy. So ladies and gentlemen, it's all about protection. It's all about preservation. And it's all about thriving and being able to withstand all of the ramifications that are upon us in this new economy, and the window is small. So if you're the person who wants to win, if you're the person who wants to fight inflation, if you're the person who wants to preserve what they've been working hard for so many years, I want you to text GSB to 202-770-1668 and also visit www.aricheducation.com for more information. It's time for you to win. It's time for you to thrive, and it's time for you to do more than survive, because we're living in a new economy, and the number one economy is the economy in your home. Welcome everyone back to a Rich Education Podcast monthly recap on just the great blessings that's been brought to the platform for the month. So ladies and gentlemen, as I bring this to a close, and I mentioned about the wealth transfer, right now, for those who may not know or understand what's going on in the economy, which is the majority. We have a few people that are waking up, but the majority are still blind to the fact of what's taking place in our economy. So right now, moving forward, there was a big meeting held in South Africa, and this meeting was based on the BRICS. BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. More countries are joining the BRICS Bank, the BRICS network. And what this is an override of the US dollar. They're bypassing the US dollar. So you got to know America's history, great people. And once you know America's history, you're actually able to understand where we are. But in that monumental book written by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, if you want that book, most definitely go to my website, and I'll have more visuals as we move forward with the podcast in the very near future, God willing. But that book, you can download it for free, The Fall of America. Everything that was written in that book, and we're talking about in the 70s, is happening today. And actually, when you have that book, you want to have your Quran open and you want to have your Bible open, because you're able to go in and then see. But one of the key things that the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Messenger of Allah, spoke on was the fall of America and the position that we see happening now with America, Russia, and China. So you want to get that book and download it. I don't want to give you too much. Get it. It's free. Go to www.aricheducation.com and download the book. aricheducation.com and download the book. So we're in a time today, ladies and gentlemen, that your only protection is in something that they cannot print. So when I say wealth transfer, meaning if all of your life, all of your hard work that you put in is tied to Wall Street, do you even know that? Do you even know that your retirement with the 401k? I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Well, you have a lot of wealthy people that say it's the biggest scam that was put on America. America's hit. This is the biggest scam. Is they're matching what you put in, cool, but there's no control in the 401k. So if you have the opportunity to dig deeper in it and you want to learn more, go to my website, www.aricheducation.com, download 401 Chaos free ebook written by Andy Tanner, Rich Dad Advisor, advising the rich. Who's advising us? Because you can be advised, because there are many of them on YouTube. You look at the track record. So if everything that you've been working hard for is tied to a platform that you have no control over, no control, and that's Wall Street. They clap regardless of what's going on in the market. So we just look at 2008. What happened? People got wiped out. People lost homes. People ended up on the street. I don't want that to happen to you. So you got to take action now, because the window and the door is about to close. You won't have the opportunity anymore, because we got God's hand as he brings down this world. It's happening. You can't deny it. I can't sugarcoat nothing. But then the life that he's giving you, you still have the opportunity to use the number one asset, which is your brain, and then the second asset, which is your time, correctly, and put aside the foolishness and dig deep into information that's simple. So the only thing that's going to protect you and your family in this climate, as far as wealth preservation, hedging against inflation, is something that the central bankers cannot print. And what is that? Physical gold, physical silver. There's nothing else. I know this is new to you. Remember, accept it. 14,000 hours of brainwashing from a system that's owned by the wealthy. They're going to teach you what they want to teach you so you can come out and work for them and build their business. But we see all of America, she's falling. So now you're coming out into a world for my youth who know nothing about what's going on. And then the parents, we fault you, okay? To a certain extent, we have to, because you're not feeding, even if the children ignore it. But if you start, when I share this with my daughter, what does my daughter say when she sees this? She say, Daddy, money. 2 years old. She's learning what money is, real money. Remember, the attributes of money are what? Fungible, tangible, durable, visible, but value. So if $20 filled up the grocery cart back in the 80s, 2 grocery carts, I'm sorry, I'm disrespecting the time. And now $20 will barely fill up 3 items, or you can just walk out of the store, especially if you're striving to eat healthy. But this right here was once upon a time $1. And you could buy $2,500 because it was backed by silver, gold. You could buy, well, really gold is more valuable, but they're both in the same class. But you could buy a Mustang in 1965. Flash forward to today, 2,500 of these will get you 2 base model Mustangs. So let's snap out of it. Snap out of the matrix. Snap out of it. Right now, snap out of the matrix. We've been bamboozled. We've been hoodwinked. We've been fooled. The school system is poison. Why didn't it teach you that? Why, when you Google how do the wealthy stay ahead of the game, precious metals is always part of their portfolio. So run fast from any financial advisor you're sitting in front of. Ask to see his portfolio. Because if he's still selling you products that's tied to the dollar, and I just gave you the great example of its value, that means the value of your retirement, the value of your life is going to go down. So the more we work for money, the poorer we will become. Robert Kiyosaki, one of his quotes. And we look at the lifestyle. So we need to learn to make the dollar work for us, transition a portion of it into physical gold, physical silver, while it's still cheap. And then also understand the importance of blockchain, as Brother Ricardo shared with us. Learn how to acquire Bitcoin and put it on a cold wallet offline. I did a post with a tweet from Robert Kiyosaki, as he stated, where Bitcoin is going to go. So he's looking at 2023. You can see Rob has a network of success. He has the best network out there. So he's had professional crypto investors. So you want pieces of what they call Satoshi on your cold wallet. You want to learn more about that? Feel free to connect with me. Feel free to schedule a call with me. www.aricheducation.com. www.aricheducation.com. Learn at aricheducation.com. Learn at aricheducation.com. My email address. Okay, let's take a short break before we bring this to a close, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm super excited to be here with you this morning. I'm not sure where you're tuning in at, but oh my gosh, you got to be excited because God gave you another. Well, welcome everyone back to a Rich Education podcast with Demi Sanya. Super excited. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's all about the times that we're living in. It's all about you making a change right now. I know change isn't easy, but change is guaranteed. It's going to always be change around us, and you got to move with it. Okay? You got to move with it. Don't ignore what's going on, great people. Because this is the greatest time in history for you and I to take things to the next level, but you got to step outside that box. So I don't want you to lose everything you've worked hard for. As an entrepreneur, if I have any entrepreneurs that are seeing this now, seeing this on Instagram, understand, great people. As an entrepreneur, it's really mandatory that you become financially educated. So as entrepreneurs, especially my ones online, okay, they have mastered how to create cash flow. But if they're not preserving a portion of their cash, okay, because as we listen to the successful, they're now allocating more of their cash into hard assets for preservation. So, for example, you're generating $10,000 a month from your home-based business. Some that I'm working with coaching me to get to that level. It's not about the money, but it is. I'd rather have money than not have any. But some of them are earning $10,000 to $15,000 a week. So if you're earning that kind of cash flow, 10 to 20% of that first does what? It goes to your charity. You have to give back. You have to give back. Even if you're not making that kind of money, but you're making something, don't think about yourself all the time. Self-preservation is the first law of nature, but don't always think about that. Go out and feed somebody. Give to your church, your mosque. Give back. If it's $1, you're giving. And then what do? The entrepreneur, the employee, pay yourself first. But why would I pay myself first only in a piece of paper that's dying? And if I park it in a bank with zero interest rates, and if there are any interest rates, inflation is going to eat it up, and inflation is going to get worse because as I talk to you right now, they're ramping up the printing press. Remember, the more they print cash, the poorer we become, but then it causes more inflation. The poorer we become if we're not implementing that cash in the right way and transitioning a percentage of it, once again, financial education, not advice, into precious metals. So you don't want to miss that make that $1 million mistake again. And what do I mean by that? Missing this information. Understanding that there's opportunities in the metal space. And we're sharing a super unique opportunity in the metal space that allows you to step into so many different platforms and tunnels that all lead to freedom. I'm talking about fractional gold and silver. Okay, so for the person who has no gold and silver and you're hoping that your retirement is not safe, ladies and gentlemen, we're in the biggest bubble in history. What do I mean by that? There's a bubble in real estate. I just got off with a professional realtor the other day, and I have a call, by God's grace, at 11 o'clock with him, and hopefully scheduling a meeting with his team. He was transparent. He stated that the space of the industry of real estate is not what it is. And he broke down to me what's going on. So he's open. You know, some people have been hurt from certain things they've gotten involved in, but you can't get hurt with God's money. You can't get hurt with a company that's been around with a derivative of CEOs from the 1980s, and then a company that's been sharing and giving precious metals to the people for 7 years with no problems. So we're sharing with you opportunity on how you can first get the knowledge, first start preserving your wealth with gold and silver, then understanding that you can work towards bigger pieces with $1, with $5, with $10 of gold and silver. So we've taken the excuse out of allowing people to get these metals in their hand, reducing your medical expense, reducing the expenses that you use for everyday shopping or traveling or living. We have these benefits within our gold and silver platform. Knowing how to liquidate your gold and silver. Can you liquidate that house you may want to sell right now? And understand your home is not an asset. Your home is a liability unless somebody's in their basement renting from you, or in them rooms renting from you. You got some cash flow paying that mortgage and maybe a little bit more left over. That's when the home is an asset. Other than that, it's a liability. Even if you pay it off, you got taxes and you got upkeep. It's a liability. But we can liquidate physical gold, physical silver. Fact, it's an asset. I could borrow from it. So we have to understand, great people, we're in a time in history like never before. We've never been in this type of situation. You don't understand what I'm talking about, with all due respect, because you're not studying money. But to keep it simple, assets over liabilities, but use the liabilities to get the assets. So I didn't know I've been running my mouth for 40 minutes. I'm just so excited today. And I'll just share this with you. I had fell off, as I bring this to a close, I had fell off eating one meal every other day. So now that I'm back on my one meal every other day, my energy level has gone up. Okay? My spirit is, I'm always have a good spirit, but it's just gotten even better. I'm clear. I'm stronger. I feel good. So take care of your health, ladies and gentlemen. You want to learn how to eat to live? Go to www.aricheducation.com and download How to Eat to Live, free ebook for you. All right? I like to give away things. Okay? So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, get ready for a new month. Okay? Happy new month. It's moving fast. We're getting close to 2024. It's an important time in history. This is why all this stuff is happening. They're going into an election time, but it can't no president save this country. Can't no Democrat or Republican save this country. It don't matter. America's in 30 trillion and more. We'll be hitting $40 trillion in debt. So we will be experiencing more inflation. Inflation that we've never experienced in this country. So I'm not going to go too deep right now, but I will be going deep on this podcast. And I have an idea for a guest that I want to bring on. And it's going to be powerful, great people. Get ready for some good knowledge, but motivation to know that you can take things to the next level. So as we go into the new year, let's go into the new year with new information, new thoughts, new actions. Ladies and gentlemen, life is what you make it, once again, based on the information that you received and the information that you rejected. I want to thank everyone for tuning in with me this morning, maybe this evening, or maybe nighttime, wherever you see this from. With Demi Sanya, a Rich Education podcast. Be prepared for a powerful live stream next week. It'll either be Wednesday or Thursday. I got to get my day straight, but I'm doing things on Thursdays, and there's my mentor, Brother Carlito Muhammad, share with me that Thursday is a good day. And I want to hear your thoughts on it. Okay? That's why I'm going live. I want to hear your thoughts. Talk to me, family. Let me know. Look, it's all about, if a person can't take criticism, then, man, you ain't going to really, it's a lot. You got to change in order to move to the next level. Okay? So with that being said, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. It's been an amazing, thank you, Brother Charles Jones, man, inshallah. It's been an amazing time here with my family here on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube Live, and also my good people who plugged in with me for a little while here on Instagram. I had my phone doing it. Look, learning to use this technology to take things to the next level. I want everyone to have a safe weekend. Okay? So stay safe, take heed, and ladies and gentlemen, the future is now. Thank you for plugging in. Until next week, Demi Sanya of Rich Education Podcast.